Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM Grand Garden Arena, March 18, 1995, Saturday night, 9:45 p.m. The arena is packed with 12,000 people, but the real audience is not in the seats. The real audience is in the locker rooms, in the press boxes, in the luxury suites where boxing insiders, promoters, trainers, and former champions watch with drinks in hand and smirks on their faces. They are here to witness what they believe will be a bloodbath. They are here to watch Tommy Morrison get destroyed. They are here to see the pretty boy from Kansas get taught a lesson about real boxing. Tommy Morrison, 26 years old, 6 feet 2 inches, 225 pounds of sculpted muscle, and Hollywood good looks. White skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, a jaw that could have been carved from marble. He looks like he walked off a movie set, which he did. He played Tommy Gunn in Rocky V just 4 years ago, standing next to Sylvester Stallone, pretending to be a boxer. Except Tommy Morrison is not pretending. He is the WBO heavyweight champion. He has 44 wins, 3 losses, 38 knockouts. He has legitimate power in his right hand. But tonight, none of that matters to the people who control boxing. Tonight, Tommy Morrison is a joke, a pretty face, a white hope marketing gimmick, a champion who does not deserve to be in the same ring with the man standing across from him. Razor Cunningham is 34 years old. He is 6 feet 4 inches tall and weighs 238 pounds. A scarred, weathered, battle-tested veteran. He has fought everyone: George Foreman, Evander Holyfield, Riddick Bowe. He has been in wars that would break normal men. His face tells the story, a roadmap of cuts, a nose that has been broken 5 times, scar tissue over both eyes thick enough to cast shadows. He has 58 fights, 52 wins, 6 losses, 47 knockouts. He has never been knocked out, never been stopped, never quit. And he hates Tommy Morrison with every fiber of his being. The hatred started 6 weeks ago. Press conference at Caesar's Palace. Tommy Morrison sitting at a table wearing a designer suit, hair perfectly styled, answering questions with the kind of calm confidence that comes from knowing you are the champion. Razor Cunningham sitting 3 feet away, wearing a worn leather jacket, arms crossed, jaw clenched. The moderator asked Tommy about facing a veteran like Razor. Tommy smiled, gave the standard answer. Razor is a great fighter, experienced, tough. I respect what he has done, but I am the champion, and I plan to remain champion. That should have been enough. That should have been the professional response. But Razor stood up, grabbed the microphone, and for 90 seconds, he destroyed Tommy Morrison in front of 200 reporters and cameras from every major sports network. "You are not a real champion," Razor said, his voice dripping with contempt. "You are a movie star playing boxer. You got your belt fighting tomato cans and journeymen while real fighters were taking on killers. You never fought anyone who could actually hurt you. You never been in a real war. You stand there with your pretty face and your Hollywood smile, and you think you belong in the ring with men who bled for this sport. You think, because you won some fights against nobodies, you earned respect. You did not earn anything. You were given everything: your skin color, your looks, your marketability. That is why you are champion, not because you can fight. And when I step in that ring with you, I am going to show the world what you really are. I am going to break that pretty face. I am going to make you quit. I am going to expose you as the fraud everyone already knows you are. And when it is over, nobody will remember your name, except as the white boy who thought he could box." The room erupted, reporters shouting questions, cameras flashing. Tommy Morrison sitting there, absorbing every word, his jaw tight, His eyes locked on Razor. He did not respond, did not yell back, did not defend himself. He just stood up, walked past Razor without looking at him, and left the press conference. That silence was interpreted as weakness. The insiders started talking immediately. Tommy cannot handle pressure. Tommy is afraid. Tommy knows Razor is going to destroy him. The narrative spread like wildfire through the boxing world. Veteran trainers who had been in the sport for 40 years gave interviews saying Tommy Morrison was not ready for a real test. Former heavyweight champions went on ESPN and said Razor Cunningham was going to knock Morrison out in 5 rounds. Promoters who had invested in Tommy started to panic, trying to find ways to postpone the fight, trying to protect their investment. Sports columnists wrote articles with headlines like "The End of the White Hope" and "Morrison's Hollywood Dream Becomes Nightmare." Betting odds shifted dramatically. Razor opened as a slight underdog. By fight week, he was the favorite. By fight night, he was a heavy favorite. The smart money, the insider money, was pouring in on Razor Cunningham. Because everyone who knew boxing, everyone who understood the sport, knew that pretty boys do not survive against battle-tested killers. They knew that movie star looks do not block punches. They knew that marketing hype does not win real fights. And they knew that Tommy Morrison was about to learn the hardest lesson of his life. Tommy Morrison's locker room, 45 minutes before the fight. He sits alone on a metal bench, hands wrapped, gloves not yet on, staring at the concrete floor. His trainer, a 67-year-old man named Bill Caton, who has worked with champions for 4 decades, stands in the corner, watching him. Bill has seen fighters before big fights. He has seen confidence, fear, nervousness, determination. But he has never seen what he sees in Tommy right now. Complete stillness. Not the stillness of meditation or calm. The stillness of a man who has made a decision. Bill walks over, sits down next to him. "Tommy," he says quietly, "you do not have to prove anything to these people. You are already the champion. You fight smart. You fight safe. You keep your belt. That is all that matters." Tommy does not look up. He speaks in a voice so low Bill has to lean in to hear. "They called me a fraud. They said I do not belong. They said I was given everything because of how I look. They said I never been in a real war." Tommy lifts his head, looks at Bill with eyes that are not angry, not emotional, just absolutely certain. "Tonight, I am going to show them what I am. Not who they think I am. Not what they want me to be. What I actually am. And when it is over, everyone who laughed, everyone who bet against me, everyone who said I was not a real fighter, they are going to have to live with being wrong." Bill studies his face for a long moment. Then he nods. "All right," he said. "Then let us go to war." The arena is deafening as both fighters make their entrances. Razor Cunningham comes out first. No music, no theatrics, just a man walking to the ring like he is walking to work. The crowd gives him a respectful ovation. He is a professional. He is real. He represents what boxing is supposed to be, earned respect through blood and pain. Tommy Morrison's entrance is different. Loud rock music, pyrotechnics, a light show. The crowd is split. Half boo because he represents everything they hate about modern boxing: commercialization, looks over substance, marketing over merit. Half cheer because he is the champion and he is young, and he represents hope that boxing can be exciting again. Tommy does not acknowledge either reaction. He walks to the ring with his eyes locked straight ahead, climbs through the ropes, goes to his corner. Razor Cunningham stands in the center of the ring, staring at him, trying to intimidate, trying to get inside his head. Tommy does not look at him. Not yet. The referee calls both fighters to the center for final instructions. Standard procedure. Touch gloves. Go back to corners. Wait for the bell. Razor and Tommy stand face to face. The height difference is obvious. Razor has 2 inches, 13 pounds. His shoulders are broader. His reach is longer. He looks down at Tommy with absolute contempt. When this is over, Razor says loud enough for Tommy to hear, loud enough for the front row to hear, "You are going to wish you stayed in Hollywood." Tommy Morrison does not respond. He just stares back. And something in that stare makes Razor stop talking. Something in those blue eyes that says, "This is not going to go the way you think." They touch gloves, return to corners. The referee checks both fighters one more time. Then he signals the timekeeper. The bell rings. Round 1 begins, and Razor Cunningham comes out exactly as expected. Aggressive, walking forward, throwing heavy jabs, trying to establish dominance early. He wants to bully Tommy, wants to make him feel the power difference, wants to let him know this is not a movie. Tommy moves backward, circles to his left, staying light on his feet. Razor follows, cutting off the ring, working behind a stiff jab that snaps Tommy's head back twice in the first 30 seconds. The crowd reacts. This is what they expected. Razor imposing his will. Tommy looking like he does not want to engage. The insiders in the luxury boxes are nodding. This is going to be over quick. Tommy is already retreating. But Bill Caton, watching from the corner, sees something different. He sees Tommy measuring distance. He sees Tommy watching Razor's feet, his shoulders, his rhythm. He sees Tommy learning. 90 seconds into the first round, Razor throws a big right hand, trying to land something spectacular early. Tommy slips it, not by much, just enough. Razor's fist passes an inch from Tommy's ear. And in that moment, as Razor is extended, as his weight is forward, as his body is committed, Tommy Morrison counters with a left hook to the body. The sound echoes through the arena. A clean, perfect shot that lands just below Razor's ribs. Razor's face changes. Not pain, not yet. Surprise. Because that punch had real power. Because that punch hurt. Tommy does not follow up. He circles away, goes back to moving, goes back to measuring. But something has shifted. Razor is not smiling anymore. Round 2 is more of the same. Razor pressing forward, throwing heavy shots, trying to land something big. Tommy moving, circling, picking his spots. He is not running, not retreating, just waiting, watching, learning Razor's patterns. Every time Razor commits to a big punch, Tommy makes him pay. A jab to the face, a hook to the body. Nothing devastating, nothing dramatic, just accumulating damage. The insiders start to get uncomfortable. This is not what they expected. Tommy is not scared. He is not overwhelmed. He is fighting smart. But they tell themselves it does not matter. Razor is stronger. Razor is more durable. Eventually, Tommy is going to get tired, and then the real fight will begin. Round 3 ends with Razor landing a hard uppercut that snaps Tommy's head back. The crowd roars. That is what they wanted to see. Blood, violence, proof that Tommy Morrison does not belong. Tommy goes back to his corner. There is a small cut over his left eye. Not deep, but it is there. Bill Caton works on it, pressing the cold metal plate against the skin, trying to stop the bleeding. "Tommy, you are doing great," Bill says, "but you need to be careful. He is looking to hurt you. One big shot, and this fight is over." Tommy nods, but he is not really listening. He is staring across the ring at Razor Cunningham, who is talking to his corner, gesturing, complaining. Razor is frustrated, because after 3 rounds of walking Tommy down, of landing solid punches, of imposing his will, Tommy Morrison is still standing, still moving, still firing back. And that is not how this was supposed to go. Round 4 begins and everything changes. Tommy comes out of his corner differently. Not defensive, not patient, aggressive. He walks straight at Razor, no circling, no retreating. Razor is surprised, but pleased. This is what he wanted. A brawl. A test of wills. He throws a big right hand. Tommy blocks it, steps inside, and unleashes a combination. Left hook to the body, right uppercut to the chin, left hook to the head. 3 punches in less than 2 seconds. All of them land clean. Razor stumbles backward. His legs are not quite under him. The arena explodes. Nobody expected that. Nobody expected Tommy Morrison to hurt Razor Cunningham. Tommy does not wait. He follows up, pressing forward now, switching roles. He throws another combination. Jab, jab, straight right hand. The right hand catches Razor flush on the jaw. Razor's knees buckle. He does not go down, but he grabs Tommy, ties him up, holds on. The referee separates them. Razor's eyes are glassy. He is trying to clear his head, trying to get his legs back. Tommy circles, patient again, waiting for the right moment. Razor throws a desperate hook, trying to keep Tommy off him. Tommy slips under it and fires back with a straight right hand that lands perfectly, right on the temple. Razor Cunningham, the man who has never been knocked out, the man who has been in the ring with George Foreman and Evander Holyfield and survived, falls. Not a stumble, not a slip, a fall. His legs go out from under him. He lands on his back, staring up at the arena lights, trying to understand what just happened. The referee does not even count. He waves his arms. Fight over. Knockout. 47 seconds into round 4. The arena is chaos. Half the crowd is screaming in celebration. Half is in stunned silence. The insiders in the luxury boxes are standing, staring at the ring, trying to process what they just watched. Tommy Morrison just knocked out Razor Cunningham, the battle-tested veteran who had never been stopped, the man they all picked to win, the man they all bet on. Tommy does not celebrate. He walks to the neutral corner, leans against the ropes, breathing hard, staring at nothing. Bill Caton climbs into the ring, grabs Tommy's face, looks into his eyes. "You all right?" Tommy nods. "I am fine." Bill shakes his head, half laughing, half in disbelief. "You just knocked out Razor Cunningham." Tommy looks over at Razor, who is sitting up now, being helped by his corner, his face a mask of confusion and humiliation. "I know," Tommy says quietly. "I know. The post-fight interviews are brutal. Razor Cunningham does not show up to the press conference. His team releases a statement saying he is being evaluated for a possible concussion and will not be speaking to media." The reporters turn their attention to Tommy Morrison, who sits at the table in the same designer suit he wore 6 weeks ago. Hair still perfect, despite having just fought 4 rounds. Face calm, composed. A veteran sports journalist, the same one who wrote the article calling this the end of the White Hope, asks the first question. "Tommy, what do you say to everyone who doubted you?" Tommy leans forward, speaks directly into the microphone. His voice is not angry, not vindictive, just matter of fact. "I say they do not know what they are looking at. They see a pretty face, and they assume I am not a real fighter. They see a movie role, and they assume I am an actor. They see my skin color, and they assume I was given everything. But none of them stepped in that ring with me. None of them felt what Razor felt tonight. None of them understand that I have been training for this my entire life. I did not choose how I look. I did not choose to be in a movie. But I did choose to be a fighter. And tonight, I proved I am exactly what I said I was. A champion. Another reporter, this one from a major boxing magazine, asks about the specific moment that ended the fight. That right hand in round 4, where did that come from? Tommy allows himself a small smile. Razor has a habit. When he gets frustrated, when things are not going his way, he drops his left hand after he throws his jab. Just a little. Just an inch. I noticed it in round 2. I waited for the right moment. Round 4, he did it again. And I made him pay. The room goes quiet, because what Tommy just described is not the instinct of a pretty boy. It is not the technique of a movie star. It is the fight IQ of a real boxer, a student of the sport, someone who studies opponents, identifies weaknesses, executes game plans. The same journalist who picked Razor to win writes a follow-up article the next day. The headline reads, "We were wrong about Tommy Morrison." But the damage to reputations has already been done. The trainers who said Tommy was not ready look foolish. The former champions who predicted a 5th-round knockout look amateurish. The promoters who tried to cancel the fight look cowardly. And the insiders who laughed, who mocked, who bet against Tommy Morrison have to live with the fact that they do not understand boxing as well as they thought they did. Tommy Morrison will fight 12 more times after that night. He will defend his title 3 more times. He will eventually lose it in a controversial decision. He will face his own demons outside the ring, struggles that have nothing to do with boxing and everything to do with life. But on March 18, 1995, in front of 12,000 people and the boxing insiders who thought they knew better, Tommy Morrison proved that pretty faces can have real power, that movie stars can be real fighters, and that sometimes the people who laugh the loudest are the ones who end up looking the most foolish when the truth reveals itself. Razor Cunningham retires 6 months later. He never recovers from the knockout, not physically, but psychologically. He cannot reconcile the version of himself that survived wars with legends and the version that got knocked out by the pretty boy from Kansas. In his final interview before leaving boxing, he is asked if he regrets what he said at the press conference. He thinks for a long moment, then gives an honest answer. "I regret underestimating him. I thought I knew what I was looking at. I was wrong. Tommy Morrison taught me the hardest lesson I ever learned. Do not judge a fighter by anything except what he does when the bell rings. Everything else is just noise."